Hey, are you ready for a riddle marathon? It's easy, you don't even need to run. You'll have 7 seconds to solve each of them. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. Let's count them down. 48. When you have one, you want to share it. When you share it, you can never have it back. What is it? A secret. 47. A guy was 15 in 1980. In 1985, he was 10. How is that possible? It happened BCE. 46. I come from a mine. I spend my life surrounded by wood. You've used me at least once in your life. What am I? A pencil. 45. You can see it in the middle of March and April, but never at the beginning or end of these months. It's the letter R. 44. What can go up and down without moving? The temperature. 43. When you don't know it, it's something. When you know what it is, it's nothing to you. What is it? It's a riddle. 42. There is a king, a queen, and 2 twins in a room. None of them are either adults or kids. How is it possible? Well, that must be one large room because they are all beds. 41. The more of them you take, the more you leave behind. What are they? Footsteps. 40. It was invented centuries ago and is still used today. It lets people see through walls. What is it? It's a window. 39. The doctor gave Grandma Annie 3 pills and told her to take 1 pill every 30 minutes. When will she run out of pills? In just 1 hour. 38. Sally bought a rabbit. It can breed once a month and give birth to 6 rabbits at a time. How many pets will Sally have in a year? Still one. A single rabbit can't breed. 37. A guy was chilling in a cabin in Nebraska. He made just 10 steps. 3 hours later, he went out and found himself in New York. How can it be? That guy was a pilot who was first chilling in an aircraft cabin, then moved to the cockpit and took off. 36. You have just 7 seconds to rearrange the letters OOUSWTDNERJ. So that is just one word. What is it? It's just one word, of course. 35. 2 boys were born at the same hour of the same day of the same month. They have the same parents, but they are not twins. How can it be? Well, I didn't say they were born in the same year. 34. A man in a booth said, "I'll write your exact weight on a piece of paper without even looking at you." If he was wrong, he'd pay the person $100. If he was right, they'd pay him $100. 10 people took the bet, and the man always won. How was it possible? The man just wrote, quote, "your exact weight," end quote, and handed the paper to everyone. 33. There are 100 sheets of paper on the table. Your task is to separate 80 sheets from the pile. You can only count off 10 sheets in 10 seconds. How much time will you need to count off 80 sheets? You'll just need 20 seconds to count off 20 sheets. Then you'll have 80 sheets left in the pile. 32. I can put a usual pencil in a room in such a way that no one can step over or jump over it. How can I do it? Just put it right next to the wall. 31. If you drop a ring in coffee, can you take it out with your hands dry and without any extra tools? You can't drink the coffee. Yes, you can, as long as you drop the ring in coffee beans before they're made into a drink. 30. What gets wet because of drying? A towel. 29. How can you make the number 666 1.5 times bigger without using any math at all? You just have to write it on a piece of paper and turn it upside down. 28. I can only live when there is light, but when light shines on me, I disappear. What am I? A shadow. 27. You tell me what to do before going to bed. In the morning, I do what I'm told. Still, you aren't happy about me. What am I? An alarm clock. Alright, that was just a warm-up. Moving on to the next level. 26. A bus driver was going down a busy street in Berlin. He turned right at no right turn sign, moved in the opposite direction on a one-way street. He didn't even stop at the stop sign. The police saw him but said nothing. Why did they let him go? He wasn't driving this time. He was just a pedestrian. 25. A chemistry major fell in love at first sight with a girl he just met in class. He asked her what her name was. She wrote 13, 53, 58 on a piece of paper. Can you tell her name from this sequence? Well, they're both chemistry majors. The numbers are from the periodic table of elements, and they correspond to Al, I, Ce. So, the girl's name is Alice. 24. John and Liz are in love. They live on the opposite sides of a deep and wide river. Once, John crossed the river without getting wet and with no bridge or boat. How did he manage to do that? It must have been love. Also, the river was frozen. 23. Mom has to give each of her 3 children a pill. They refuse to take it, so she offers them to choose between the pill and a delicious vitamin. They all pick the vitamin and take it with water. Mom is still happy because they all took the pill. How is it possible? The pill was already dissolved in water, So everyone took it anyway. 22. A witch put Prince Charming into a little cell with a floor made of dirt and one window. That window is so high, Prince can't reach it. There is a shovel, but it would take him weeks to dig a tunnel. Prince can't survive that long without food or water. What should he do? He can use the shovel to build a pile of dirt under the window. Then he can climb on it and escape. 21. The Taylors are a big family that live in a beautiful circular house. On Sunday, Mrs. Taylor saw cherry jam stains on the new carpet. She wanted to know who did it. Sally said she was doing homework. Tom said he was playing outside. Nancy said she was dusting the corners of the house. Mr. Taylor said he was chopping wood for the fireplace. Can you guess who spilled the jam? It was Nancy. You can't dust corners of a circular house. 20. Nick, Robert, and Peter and their wives, Natalie, Jessica, and Anna, all together are 151 years old. Each of the men is 5 years older than his wife. Nick is 1 year older than Jessica. If you sum up Natalie and Nick's age, they'll be 48, and Peter and Natalie are 52. Who is married to whom, and how old are they? Nick is 26 and married to Anna, who is 21. Robert is married to Natalie. They are 27 and 22. Peter is 30 and married to Jessica, who is 25. 19. There is a vase in the room. One half of it is in the air and the other half is on the table. It will fall in half an hour. What's inside and why will it fall? It's filled with ice. Once it melts, the vase will fall. 18. One morning, Tim noticed one of his tires was flat. There was a snowstorm outside. He got in the car anyway, drove 3 hours one way to see his friend. And then, on his way back, he stopped by the mall to get something. He didn't do anything about the tire, but still got back safe and sound. How was it possible? His spare tire was flat. 17. Matt and Sophie have been married for 5 years. Matt loves Sophie, but never let her enter one secret room in the house. He left for a business trip and didn't take the key with him. Sophie couldn't resist and went inside the secret room. She found a photo album there. She opened it. Then she heard Matt come back earlier than planned. She switched off the light, ran outside, and put the key back where Matt had left it. He checked the room and then asked Sophie, "Why did you go there?" How did he guess she had been in the secret room? Matt touched the light bulb that was still warm. Well, don't they have some trust issues? 16. The richest man in town was a coin collector. One day, a boy came to him with a really old coin for sale. It was made in the Roman Empire, and the date on it was 115 BCE. The boy didn't ask that much for the coin, but the rich man refused to buy the coin and told him never to come back again. Why didn't he want that coin? The rich man knew it was a fake. People who lived BCE didn't know there would be another era, so they wouldn't have put that date on a coin. 15. There is a small town in the kingdom of Neverland. By king's law, no man in the kingdom is allowed to shave themselves. The only barber in the kingdom also lives there. How does the only barber get a shave? The only barber in Neverland is a woman, so that's not a problem. 14. I can drop a raw egg to a concrete floor 2 feet and it won't break. I won't use any tools to protect it. What is my secret? I'll just drop it from higher than 2 feet. It will sure fly the first 2 feet without breaking. The landing, however, will be different. 13. Tim and Sarah have a large family. There's Dominique, Rena, Milana, Fawn, Sophie, and Laura. What will they name their next daughter? Heather, Mary, Tilly, or Katie? The parents must be huge fans of music. They're following the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti scale, also called solfege or solfeggio. So, it's going to be Tilly. 12. A journalist asked Mrs. Smith to describe her daughters. She said they are all blondes but 2, all brunettes but 2, and all redheads but 2. How many daughters did she have? Just 3. One of them was blonde, another one was a brunette, and one had red hair. 11. You are a taxi driver. You had 15 passengers during your 5-hour shift. 4 of them were traveling as a group. There was also one old couple and a little dog. 3 passengers were mad because the ride was taking too long. The question is, what color are the driver's eyes? Now, the riddle starts with "You are a taxi driver." So, whatever color your eyes are is the answer. 10. A hot air balloon is moving with a strong and steady wind current in a northerly direction. What direction will the flags on its basket wave? The hot air balloon is going with the airflow, so the flags will stay still. 9. What makes the number 854-917-632 so special? It's made up of numbers from 1 to 9 in alphabetical order. 8. A businessman was getting ready to get into his helicopter and fly to a meeting. Suddenly, his security guard ran into his room and told him not to go. He explained he had just had a nightmare where the trip didn't end well. The businessman fired the guard. Why did he do that? A security guard isn't supposed to sleep while on duty. 7. The price for 2 is $3. 47 costs $6. You'll have to pay $9 for 512. What are you buying and how much is one? They are house numbers, and one costs $3. 6. Picture this. You're sailing in the ocean. The wind is strong and suddenly your boat flips over. There are sharks in the water and they surround you. You have 2 matches and a balloon. What should you do to save yourself? Just stop picturing that. It's not real. 5. A man was looking at a portrait. When someone asked him who was in the portrait, he said, "I was the only child, but I can tell you the father of the man in the portrait is my father's son." So, who was in the portrait? It was the son of that man. 4. There was a party everyone wanted to go to, but you had to know the password to get in. A guy decided to wait by the door and listen. A couple came by. The doorman said 12. They answered 6, and he let them in. 10 minutes later, a girl came. The doorman said 6 to her, and she answered 3. The guy who wanted to sneak in got the logic and walked up to the doorman. He said 10, the guy answered 5, and was told to go home. What was the right answer? He should have said 3. The task was not to divide by 2, but to tell the number of letters in whatever number the doorman said. 3. A couple went for a climbing trip. The husband came back alone and said that his wife got lost in the mountains. Luckily, the rescue crew found her, but she couldn't speak and tell them what really happened. The travel agent called the police and told them the husband left his wife in the mountains on purpose. How did he know that? The man booked a return ticket for himself, but a one-way ticket for his wife, so he knew she wouldn't be going back with him. 2. A woman was staying in a single room at a hotel floor where all other rooms were single as well. Suddenly, someone knocked on her door. She opened it and saw a man. He said he was sorry as he thought it was his room. The woman didn't believe him and called security. It turned out he was a criminal. How did the woman guess she shouldn't trust the man? Why would someone knock on the door to his own single room? The man wanted to make sure no one was in there to do his sneaky business. 1. The king of Neverland wasn't feeling well. He had no sons or other relatives to pass all the wealth and state affairs to them. So he decided to pick the most deserving person in the kingdom. He gave a seed to everyone who wanted to win the throne. He said whoever grew the most beautiful plant would win. 100 days later, people came with the most fantastic-looking plants. Only one girl was holding a pot of dirt. The king said she would be his successor. Why did he pick her? He wanted to find the most honest person in the kingdom. He gave everyone pebbles, and so those who came back with plants were liars. The girl was the only one who didn't switch the pebble to a seed.